look down at that?
Oh, here, I'll look at yours.
Yeah, look at mine. Look at that. Please don't. What the fuck? Yeah, please. It says please don't dance. I mean, it's really hard for you to see, but this is a club. Like, look at it. There's disco balls, there's a stage, there's a stripper pole, and a DJ cage. But no dancing. Okay, so dance is like a fundamental form of human communication. Since time immemorial, people have danced. But it's just a real important thing, you know? You let loose stress, you form social bonds, you have a good time, you exercise. So it's so many things combined all into one. It is an art form, it is freedom of expression, it's social bonding. So dance is a beautiful thing. The social scene and climate in America is very different from that of Japan. People are a lot more indirect here. People are a lot more direct in America. Living in Tokyo has taught me how I'm different, and I really appreciate it. And how my culture is different, I really appreciate it. But I think dancing is really important because it is a way for people without the same language skills to communicate with each other, to become friends and to have a wonderful time. Okay, so there's this law that was developed in the 1940s around the entertainment industry. I think they were trying to weed out a lot of prostitution. I think they were trying to weed out a lot of like just basic immoral behavior, gambling, that sort of thing. There's a certain size requirement that you have to fulfill, and it's rather large. And aside from the size requirement, there's also bits and pieces of other red tape that you have to climb over in order to apply for a dancing license. So if you're not into mainstream mega clubs, there are alternatives for you, or at least there used to be if you wanted to dance. Now, if you don't fulfill these spatial requirements, you cannot go. So let's say you like salsa music, let's say you're gay, let's say you want to listen to reggae. These certain clubs are denied the ability to be clubs based on their size and the amount of clientele that wish to be a part of it. そう皆さん、それを私の愛しの友達ナヒクさんもダンス、はい、ニューヨークもダンスだとか、東京もダンスするね。はい。そしてこの最近のダンスのリストションの気持ちって何ですか？
そもそもダンスっていうのはやっぱり僕たちの、どこの地域でそれをやられているとかに関わらず一つのカルチャーであって、それがやっぱりその今義務教育の中でクラスとしても義務教育の一環として取り入れられているような時代の中で、やっぱり今このせっかくこうどんどん培ってきてどんどん横に広がってきたカルチャーをここでカットオフしてしまうのはどうかなと思います。それとあとやっぱりもう少しその政府としてそのこの新宿の地域だけでなくもう少しちょっと建設的なアイディアというのが出せたらよかったのかなと個人的に思います。例えばそのお店に防音のための何か壁を作ることを促進するであるとか、やっぱりいきなり白か黒かで前からそういう条例があったとはいえもう何年もこの状態が続いてきた後で今急にね1週間2週間の警告でこのお店ではダンスをしちゃいけないといってやっぱ外から外国から特に来る友達が多いんですけど、やっぱりみんなすごく戸惑いがあります。それは日本の僕たちも同じで、ちょっとせっかく日本と外国の文化がこう融合し始めた時に今ここでこう断ち切ってしまうのはもったいないなと思います。だからちょっと残念な条例です。
そしてその近所と日本についての願いは何ですか？踊りのリストションについては。
個人的には僕はやっぱり踊りを昼間仕事として教えたり振り付け舞台の演出をしているので、やっぱりそれを一概にもうダメですと言ってしまうことで何かこうすごくこう日本が一つのポップカルチャーであったり普通の文化としてこう外に広がっていくのがなくなるのはそれも残念なことです。ありがとうございました。感謝してる。感謝しています。はい。ありがとうございました。
So, how long have you lived in Japan?
I've lived in Japan 14 years.
14 years. And this dance restriction ban, how do you feel about it?
I'm not happy about it. I was actually away in working in Tohoku, which is the earthquake-affected areas of Japan, and I was doing dance shows in that area. You know, dancing after, I think it's 12 or 1 o'clock.
No, it's actually no time restrictions, no dancing at all.
Okay, well, then that's even worse. So, I'm just flabbergasted. I don't get it, considering most of Tokyo's life after the earthquake depends on just letting out and having a good time.
Osaka was, a lot of fun. There are a lot of great people. There are enough bars, awesome food and stuff. But unfortunately, the gay community, is not as prominent there as it is in Tokyo. And unfortunately, recently, with the whole enforcement of the ban on dancing in places that aren't large enough to hold such a venue, happened after of the terrible earthquake and tsunami in Tohoku.
I think it's only recently coming in effect primarily because they want to change the location or disband the gay district. I mean, it's the one place where we do have where we can feel safe. There's not a lot, considering the size of this city, there is not a large gay district. Ours is very small and it's very like family oriented, like not family oriented, but it's like a tight-knit family almost. And with enforcing this law once again, it's like they're telling us, okay, get out. You can't dance here anyway, so you've got no other reason to be here. Move along, go blend into the heterosexual clubs.
Well, of course, anyone that loves dance anywhere should be concerned. My boyfriend is a dancer, my mother was a ballerina, I am currently a go-go boy. These are all cultures that have to do with dancing. These are really important to my profession, to my mother's ex-profession, to my boyfriend's current passion. So anyone that loves dance should really be concerned about this. As a gay person in Tokyo, I have been to other cities in Japan, and I haven't seen anything that is a gay scene that compares to this at all. And Nichome is not huge. It's maybe about 4 or 5 blocks long. But the fact that it exists is really important. It was crucial in my decision to come live here. And I feel that with a dance club disappearing, the only official and 24 hours, well not 24 hours, but consistent Monday through Sunday gay dance club is being challenged by this law. And if it can't afford to continue to do business, I feel like it disappearing from here would really prove detrimental to gay culture and the culture of Tokyo at large. I mean, the thing about Tokyo is it's an international city. You can come here and get almost anything you want, right? But if you can't have gay dance life, that's a big deal to me. And I'd like to say that I challenge the LGBTQ community to really step up and face this issue, because not only does it kind of violate our rights and our space, but this moment presents us with an opportunity to protect the rights of all people, of anyone that wants to dance, of anyone that wants to go out and have a good time. So not only are we protecting ourselves, which we have done for so long in multiple countries around the world, but we can stand up for other people and show them that we have a place in this world as activists, as people that really care about what's going on.
Well, for me, the Nichome is vital to not just my romantic life, but to my everyday life. It's one of those places where I can go and I can dance with my partner or dance with a friend and not get looked at for being a homosexual couple. If I were to do that in a heterosexual oriented bar, as soon as I started dancing with my girlfriend, I'd either have a group of men surrounded around me or I'd have people telling me to get out. And think about it, think about any heterosexual couple. If you go out on a date, what do? You go for dinner, catch a movie, then you go dancing. Now we can't do that. We can't have the basic romantic date because it's illegal. And it's been illegal since the 1940s, but only now are they enforcing it. And it's not just illegal in the Nichome, it is illegal in all of Tokyo. But yet I've gone to clubs in Shibuya, I've gone to clubs in Roppongi, and I've gone to clubs in Tokyo itself. It has never been enforced there. Only now in the Nichome are they making it, enforcing it, and saying, no, you can't dance or you have to get out. And that's not right.
So I would like to bring the idea of a dance flash mob to Japan in protest of these dance restrictions. So I am trying my best via Facebook, via YouTube, and this video right here, via Twitter, to gather as many people as I can who would be willing to participate in a little bit of fun civil disobedience. I want people to gather together in a predisposed location, and when they hear the music, just start dancing, hold up signs, bring glow sticks, show the government that the party won't stop just because they take away these valuable places, and it is better to have us in these places, having fun, being safe, being regulated, than releasing this sort of energy out into the streets, into nowhere.